Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dads, listening to Tomcats, talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Bum bum ba da dun dun da da dun dun da da dun dun. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Winter is Blooming, a Game of Thrones rewatch podcast by us, the Penny Bloom Podcast. Today, we continue that rewatch with Season 4, Episode 8, titled The Mountain and the Viper. Written by D&D David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, directed by Kansas City's own Alex Graves.
Let's go.
Let's go indeed. So, we got another goodie here. I am Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
What up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here, even if it is a day of mourning.
It's a sad day. It is a sad day indeed. I'm going to miss my mans, Oberyn Martell. It's been a good few weeks. I've been looking forward to it greatly. The entire rewatch.
Yeah.
You know, I've been waiting. But alas, we've reached the point where we say goodbye to the Viper. And I'm sad.
Officially past the halfway point. We've tipped. And this is what happens, you know. Well, I think last episode was officially halfway.
Yeah, halfway through last episode would have been the halfway point officially.
But then now we're on the fall. You know, we've reached that climax now they're telling us. They're like, all right, we're getting rid of one of the best characters we have in the show for you. I mean, single season. I mean, it's just, maybe, I don't know, maybe this is just the beginning of the end here, getting rid of Pedro Pascal.
Kind of it. We start losing. I know that we've lost Ned and we've lost Rob, but characters start dropping like flies in season 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Joffrey. Yeah. We're gonna lose Ygritte. We're gonna lose Bran and Pip. We're gonna lose Tywin. We lost Oberyn here. Like season 4 is when shit like it stops being massive characters only, and now it's like a bunch of recurring characters are starting to drop off the map.
Man, it's like it's really. I swear, I don't know how they decided to kill off these characters. You know, like it really seems that I don't know. I guess George R. Martin even trusted his turtles in his tank to make some decisions for Game of Thrones. So it is kind of just like spinning a wheel and decides, oh, let's see who dies today. Oh wow, Ned. Well, I'll have to write that in somehow. You know, or I guess that was probably known. I mean, that's what sets off everything. So, but like I don't know, maybe someone like Oberyn was supposed to be more long lasting, but then it's like, what if he dies here? Actually,
yeah, you know that you face yourself with these two roads that diverge in a yellow wood, as Brienne and Podrick came to one of these points last episode, and you know that you got this option where if you don't kill Oberyn, Tyrion's not guilty. He doesn't have to go across the narrow sea. Or maybe he still has to go across the narrow sea anyway, you know, after Cersei finds out that, you know, he's not going to die. Does she just enact a plan to assassinate him anyway? You know,
probably.
So who knows? Maybe it's just another shock value sort of thing. But regardless, it's effective. And I hate saying goodbye to Oberyn Martell. But we will begin this episode in the north, wherein Ramsay Snow is sending Reek, forced to assume his former identity of Theon Greyjoy, to treat with the Ironborn garrison holding the northern fortress of Moat Cailin, and barring the armies of House Bolton from returning to the north. Theon rides into the fortress to find corpses lying everywhere from constant attacks and disease running rampant. Nobody is healthy. Nobody is hopeful. There is no hope in Moat Cailin. And with a name like that, I don't know how much hope you can expect. But the Ironborn remaining are sick, under-equipped, outnumbered, outmanned, everything. The garrison commander, Ralph Kenning, rebuffs the offer made by Ramsay of safe passage in exchange for surrender. He's like, nah, I think we're good. Fuck you. You're not Theon. I don't believe you one bit. Look at this. You're a pussy. and the descent for Alfie Allen here. An incredible performance.
Yeah, that's he's up for it. I mean, I'm between two, and this was because he actually, he it's like an act within an act. Here.
Yeah,
it's like he's acting, but he also has to act like he's not acting as Theon, but he is Theon, but he is Reek, and it's like there's so many layers to put.
So many levels of contrivance there for Alfie Allen's performance that he gets across very, very concisely. It probably bared it down to the simplest thing, where it's you are Reek trying to act like Theon.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal here, and that's incredible.
With him just starting to, I am Reek, and like people are like, what the fuck are you? What are you saying?
And then,
chomp. Yeah, luckily that came in there because who knows like what could have happened. I don't know if he goes into full Reek mode. I don't know if the people there don't do what they do. I mean, they're gonna die either way.
Yeah,
so
that's so you're saying we can live?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's go. And Ramsay kills them anyway.
Like to focus on that guy's face too.
Yeah.
Like you just sit there and it's like an awkward kind of like long and you're like, why are we looking at this guy? Oh, we wanted to remember that that's what his face looked like so that when we see him flayed and on to whatever, I don't know, I guess that is just being flayed. Yeah, like that just involves it all. Like, eesh. Yeah, that was rough.
Eye popped out of his head.
Yeah.
His body completely flayed. And Ramsay explains, he's like, flaying's a lost art. Did you really think I'd let them live? Come on, man, you're smarter than that. You know me. You know me.
We were talking about that a couple episodes ago. We were like, they don't seem to actually flay people anymore. It's on their banner, but like, man, that's just got to be a lot of hard work and a lot of like stuff to go through. And then, well, here, Ramsay's bringing it back. He's bringing it back
because this is the last step. Once they hold Moat Cailin, they hold the North. So now that they hold the North, the flaying's back, baby. This is what we do. That's sort of
yeah. Huh. Yeah, I mean, it was enough for Bolton to be like, "Yep, you're my son now." Like I guess I didn't think about how like big this like victory was. I guess because it was such a easy victory. Like it was like just so easy. But like even if Theon fucked up and they're like, "No, we're gonna fight," like they still would have just been wiped out. Like it just would. I guess.
So that's the thing is that they held that fortress that was impenetrable unless you were allowed in. So like, and in order to get past it and advance to the north, like you got to get past Moat Cailin. So now they officially hold the north, and in the aftermath, Ramsay treats with his father and presents him with the Greyjoy banner that was flying over the fortress, and he says, "Moat Cailin is yours, father." In recognition, Roose stands before him and goes full Mufasa. "Look for as far as the eye can see. This land is our domain." It stretches so many miles that way, so many miles that way. This kingdom is bigger than all the other 7 combined, and it is ours. What is your name? And you can tell Ramsay's like, fucking Ramsay Snow. Why you got to remind me of that right now, man? This is pissing me off. And then he goes, "No, that's not your name." And he presents him with a decree of legitimization, making Ramsay Bolton. And delighted at the knowledge he will succeed his father as Warden of the North, Ramsay seemingly immediately begins plotting how to murder his father.
Yep. Thank you for giving me the exact thing I needed. Yeah, kind of like a Bronn and marrying the younger one
Lawless
to kill the older sisters. Same thing here. But I don't know. I feel like he's sort of happy in this moment to be recognized as well. Like as
no, and there's a moment here where you fucking despise Ramsay, but there's almost like a pride in this because you're kind of projecting every bastardization of characters onto Ramsay in this moment. Like, of all the characters to be legitimized in their father's eyes and get the approval from their father, you don't want it to be fucking Ramsay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want Jon to be Jon Stark. You want You want Tyrion's father to finally respect him. You know, I know he's not a bastard in name, but that's what you want for him. And then Ramsay, of all the characters, is the one who is legitimized in his father's eyes. And just watching him, and it was interesting. This is the first rewatch I've ever watched him and thought like, oh, he's immediately thinking, well, I'm going to seize the North one day. You know, like, oh, now I have
actual.
This is one of the dumbest things Roose could have done.
True.
You know, I think Roose thinks Ramsay values the family name simply for the reason that a lot of bastards value the family name. They've been left out. They haven't been included, and they need it to feel a part of something. Ramsay's never felt that anyway. He doesn't long for anything besides wanting destruction, I don't think.
Does Roose have any other kids?
That is why Roose ultimately dies, because his wife gets pregnant and he kills his wife, he kills the baby, and he kills his father, all in one fell swoop.
Oh, okay. So yeah, no siblings before this then.
No.
Okay. So maybe I guess it was
he wants an heir.
He doesn't have just to get to have someone because he doesn't have anybody. I guess the name would die with him as of right now. So maybe that's why. But you're right. It is kind of a dumb decision to like give this crazy fucked up.
Like, I don't know. You still have a wife. You should probably. Well, that's the thing. He's also thinking that like I ought to set up this safety net so that if I can't get my wife pregnant, my line continues. But I think you ought to try and hold out on that for as long as you possibly fucking can.
Wait,
like maybe he's trying, maybe he's hoping this is inspiring some sort of loyalty in Ramsay. Like he'll remain devoted to me because
even if
I've
he does have a kid
this.
with his wife, doesn't Ramsay still get the North though?
No, because even
does it have to be a legit because he legitimized him.
He's legitimized, but I don't think it matters. Like, and that's what's. I think that's part of what makes like the legitimization ultimately kind of just. It's just a name, you know. Like it's everything is still about politics and how they are going to decide who gets there. But you know, in case nothing else works out, we got you, Ramsay. You know.
Wow.
But
yeah, that is quite dumb. I guess it would just be to get him more on his side, but. If you don't give him the name, that's almost making him like still have to prove himself over and over. Like that's seemingly the kind of trap he had him in anyways. Like,
right.
The only son he had, I guess, or like, and yeah, I never thought about it like that. But yeah, not because the thought didn't occur to me right away that it's like, oh yeah, how am I going to plot to kill my father and take over the North?
Yeah.
But no, that's definitely what he's thinking right there.
He's like, oh. Like, dope! I'm gonna figure something out.
Yeah.
You've granted me a position of power I never could have dreamed of prior to this moment, and now it's in my grasp. So I'm gonna do something about it. But we see Ramsay and Reek accompany Roose's army as it approaches to its final destination, Winterfell, which we have not seen since the end of season 2.
Yeah. Not burned down. Cause isn't that all we've been told? Like in the background is like, it's been burned down. No one's been there. Like it was sacked by the Boltons or whatever.
Sacked by the
Greyjoys. Yeah, actually the Greyjoys. Yeah, they didn't even know.
But it was actually, if I remember correctly, the Boltons that did the sacking. And I do think it got sacked, but it's stone, you know, like it didn't the castle's bones are still there, but like
I see. Okay.
Shit's fucked on the inside, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's I remember just being like, "Fucking A, man!" Like, not the Boltons, bro.
Yeah, it's nice to see Winterfell again, but like the people walking up to it, like it's like it feels wrong.
We just saw Sansa last episode building Winterfell out of fucking snow,
maybe
dreaming
that was
of getting back.
Yeah, maybe that was like to remind us, like, oh yeah, that is like what Winterfell looks like. Like,
right.
It's coming up. Like, remember, because it's, I don't know, it's a lot different from a Stark walking up on it versus the people who, I guess they didn't, I don't know. I guess Roose actually did kill Robb.
Actively betrayed
the Starks. You have the person who literally betrayed the Starks walking up to it. So yeah, it just feels wrong. But
no, it's bad. It doesn't feel good. But all the while in Mole's town, there's a lady in waiting who is making fun of the size of a man's penis, which is always very funny. It's like a hangnail of a dick, apparently.
Like a little snail, just coming
right
out
of his shell.
Mm-hmm.
And she walks over to Gilly and is like, "Yo, your baby's super loud, man. Anything you can do about your baby not being loud?" And she's like, "I don't know, man. It is a baby." And
sorry that she woke you up. I guess, is it a, no, it's a he. Yeah, little
sorry he woke you up.
Yeah, sorry he woke you up. You know, like, as she is the one having to deal with the baby waking, like, it obviously woke her up, you know, like in the first place, and she's like, "Ah, oh, wow. Well, I'm so sorry. You know, you had
sorry
to wake
that happened."
Up. Yeah, like, oh, poor Gilly. Yeah, she's working hard too.
Not like a great situation for her.
Yeah, and you could tell she's just so busy that, like, she can't even entertain this, like, conversation really, because, like, she just has to, I don't know, like, she's washing clothes or something in the background. Like, not a good life for Gilly right now.
No, not indeed. And she hears what sounds like an owl hooting, but she realizes, as she was a wildling herself, that this is the call of the wildling. And they attack. Tormund, Stir, Ygritte, and such, leaving a wake of destruction in their path, seeing, like, the blood seep through the ceiling.
Oh my god, yeah. Like it was all like Ygritte just being there, just being like, all right. Like, she's like, all right, I'm not going to kill a mother and her baby. Like, yeah, you know, luckily Ygritte's not that far gone. But like, it's like, you know, a moment of kind of safety and, like, a nice moment of, like, oh, okay, she's letting them live. And then, like, Ygritte's head moves and it's just blood, just so much blood. Like, that's, oh man, just a slaughter. Like, I mean, literally a slaughter. Like, they came in there, no one was ready for it at all. It was just, like, easy. Like, I mean, like, just going in there, and you
slaughtering some Night's Watchmen.
You gotta eat them too. Like, that's the thing. There is that half of these wildlings are also cannibals. So yeah, they're also gonna eat
nothing
them.
Good going on there.
Yeah,
I do. I love thinking about the way Ygritte spares Gilly here. You know, only one episode left with Ygritte, so getting to see her do something that was, you know, heroic was very nice, showing the good in her, even though she's taking part in the slaughter of these men. Like, she has a line that she won't cross. And I just love imagining a world where, you know, Sam and Gilly are raising little baby Sam with Uncle John and Aunt Ygritte over here, and, you know, everyone's all happy together in a perfect world.
Little fucking kid.
Little kid.
What's his
whatever.
name?
What's his fuck? Oliver.
Oh, fuck Oliver. Yeah, that kid just sucks.
Deserved to be hanged.
Yeah. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it at all. Honestly,
I'm not mad one fucking bit.
Could have gone out a little with more pain. For my liking, actually. So,
you know what? He deserved a knife through the heart, just like he did to John. You know what? While we're at it,
before that too. No,
give him a little arrow. Give him a little arrow in the chest. Like
3 of them. John got 3. Yeah, John got 3 arrows. Give him 3. He got stabbed 3 times before Oliver stabbed him. I don't, just whatever you want, you know.
Really fuck the kid up. Just really do it. But at the wall, news from Mole's Town has arrived at Castle Black, where Sam is a fucking mess. Everyone's like, "Oh no, our brothers," and Sam's like, fucking Gilly, man, how did I let this happen? I should have known. They're like, "How could you have known?" He's like, "I absolutely could have known. I was being an idiot. That was so fucking stupid of me."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Don't worry, man." And I love the way that everyone kind of shifts to support him. It's not necessarily like the way it was originally about their Night's Watchman brothers for everybody else. The way Gren's like, how could you say that to Dolorous Ed, who's like, they shouldn't have fucking been there, man. I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm saying that, like, they shouldn't have been there to die at all. Like, that's not cool, and
just how Sam is, like, slowly switching over. Like, he's so worried, but then, like, every little comment that's made, he's like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe actually. Yeah. Like all of the guys there are like, she's probably dead, but we just have to say anything to get this guy, like,
it's like,
keep going on.
I mean, she was
like,
at Craster's.
Yeah. She survived him. That guy was one hell of a piece of shit. And then
it's like she survived the march to the wall. Like, she's strong, man. She's
a White Walker, for God's sake. Like, like he was like, damn. Like, I even kind of convinced himself there. Like, they all knew like that she was probably gone, but he was like, well, actually, shit, maybe, I don't know. This lady seems to have it on her.
And John's like, yes, I am worried about Gilly for sure, but if that's been destroyed, Castle Black is the only thing that can happen next, That
does mean we're next. So, I mean, Gilly, sorry, Sam, but like, oh shit. Like, we
1,000 to 1 against Ants Raiders army.
I love how they're even like, I mean, what are we supposed to do with 105? And they're like, are you counting the 3 brothers we just lost? Yeah, we're actually down to 102. Like, it was just like, it's so like, they're fucked. And they're just like, well, take a swig of wine. They're like, well, before we die, whoever the last one is, make sure you burn us. I don't want to come back in this.
Oh, that one hurts coming from Dolorous Ed. As we literally in the episode The Long Night watch his eyes snap open to be bright blue.
That's so sad.
Yeah, just a small character like that who had a line like this where it was like, whosoever is the last one, make sure you burn us, because when I die, I don't want to come back. And he absolutely does come back, which is super sad for Dolorous Ed. Everything he fights against he becomes it. Very devastating.
That's why the Night King is so just...
Fuck the Night King,
holy
man.
Shit. What a villain that guy is. Like,
yeah.
I can't wait till we actually get at that.
To that episode, really. I fucking love that episode, man. But that concludes the story at the wall, and we then head to Marine, where we get some of the best story. If I'm being honest, this is the best part of the episode, is everything that happens in Marine.
Yeah.
For my money. Mostly because, you think back to this episode and you think about like, Oberyn getting his head smashed, and that's a pretty massive moment. But the stuff that is the biggest on the grand scheme of the show happens in Marine. This is far and away the biggest part of the story, where as Grey Worm is swimming and bathing with some other Unsullied outside Marine, he notices Missandei and another number of other women bathing downstream. And but his eyes are only on Missandei, and she spots him looking at her and returns his gaze, standing up slowly for him to see her in full light, and then finally covering herself, and him being like, oh, I don't know where to, guess I'll just go underwater.
Yep. I go down.
Yeah.
No, it was, I don't know, I love these moments between them, and then like having Missandei go to Daenerys being like, yeah, he like looked at me, and like I don't know, he's like, was he spying on you? No, I don't.
No, definitely
so.
not that.
Like,
definly not that.
And oh well, obviously you can't be interested, or they don't have, all the Unsullied aren't interested in that. Well, I think he was. Like, it was kind of like.
He definitely was. I love, and again, I just love it anytime Daenerys speaks back to her Dothraki sort of roots. And her being like, the Dothraki, they have no taboos against nudity, or, they would make love in front of everybody for everyone to see because they thought it was so fucking awesome. So, like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Yeah,
Missandei wasn't really taking it. She's like, but you're not Dothraki.
That's not you. I get it. She's like, I'm curious, when they cut them, did they take all of it? The pillar and the stones? And Missandei's like, I don't know. She goes, haven't you ever wondered? And she goes, yeah, I have. And, for Daenerys, it's more a general curiosity. For Missandei, it's like, I've thought about whether or not I can fuck Grey Worm.
Yeah. And I forgot. I mean, does that actually come up? Like, do we get the answer to that, or is it just left vague?
It's never fully blown answered. I've taken it to mean, given Missandei and Grey Worm's relationship later on, to mean they took the stones and not the pillar.
Ah, okay, interesting. Yeah, because I kind of forgot like where I know they kind of are a thing, but I forgot like scene like what even.
I'm pretty sure they have a full blown sex scene, and I'm sure you can pull it off. Just got to imagine it can't be quite as easy as you know, good old intercourse.
Yeah. Grey Worm's reproductive abilities are gone, but he does have a penis.
Okay, I was like, I think he just can't have kids.
I started typing in "does Grey Worm," and the first thing to pop up is "have a wiener." A wiener is the first thing to pop up. Yeah. So, but yes, Reddit confirms it. I guess if Reddit is to be believed,
Reddit's reliable. I trust it. Yeah. But later on in Daenerys' audience chamber, her little throne room where Missandei is just kind of admiring the whole room, where Grey Worm comes to apologize. She's like, "No, don't worry, it's fine, it's really okay." He's like, "I didn't want to scare you," and she's like, "You didn't. You're good." And in the common tongue, which she has been teaching him, he tells her that her lessons she gives him are precious to him.
Precious to I. Yeah.
Precious to I, yes. And she knows, I didn't teach you the word precious. And I love the implication here that Jorah taught Grey Worm the word precious.
100%.
And Aaron, Grey Worm talked to Jorah about this before talking to Missandei. Yeah, which is so like, fucking cute, dude.
Yeah, because Missandei went to Daenerys and they had their little talk, and then Grey Worm's like, I don't know, who can I go to? Like, I gotta talk to someone, I don't know, and I gotta get this off my chest. And he goes to Jorah and he's like, ooh, teach me like a good word, like what do I say to her? And he's like, maybe Jorah's like, call her precious, or say that he's like precious, just all that stuff happening.
Well, and like there's so many different ways that could have gone. Is like he explains what happened and he doesn't know how to put his words into his feelings into words. There's also a possibility that Jorah's just talking, and Grey Worm's listening, and Grey Worm, like, he says something's precious and he asks what is precious, and regardless, either way, Grey Worm is talking about Missandei to Jorah, or Jorah is likely talking about Daenerys to Grey Worm.
That's probably true.
Like there's multiple possibilities there, which I really, really enjoy. And no matter what, I think it's just kind of cute to think about people talking to each other behind each other's backs about their crushes and like, oh, I really like her, but I don't, I think that's adorable. But she asks, whether he remembers his birth name, and he says, I remember nothing, only Unsullied. And she asks him if they remember when they cut him, and he says, no, I remember only Unsullied. And she tells him she's sorry they did that to him. And Grey Worm's like, why?
Yeah. And no, you don't understand. Yeah, like, this is where my line comes from Grey Worm. Whenever he's like, it's, a long one, but like whenever he's just like, nah, if they never cut me, like I'm never Unsullied. If I never stand in the Plaza of Pride when Daenerys Stormborn ordered us to kill the Masters. I'm never chosen to lead the Unsullied. And then he like pauses for a little bit. He's like, I never meet Missandei from the island of Noth. And I was like, oh man, how cute. That was so good. Like, just
like, oh, it's so fucking sweet. And Grey Worm's like, I am so sorry. And she stops him while he turns to leave, telling him she was glad he saw her. And he just kind of like, yeah, I am too. Like, what can I say?
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Oh, they're so cute. Yeah, they're so cute. But yeah,
I go to you know how I make the graphics for every episode, right? I go to a website called fancaps.com or .net or something like that. And every episode, it's like frame by frame, HD, 4K quality, which is why I usually have pretty good graphics for it. Pretty good quality graphics for it anyway. But every episode displays popular images, the most popular ones to be saved and downloaded. It's the top 4. And would you believe that the top 2 of the 4 are Missandei naked?
Oh my god, yeah. Looking at it now. Wow. Yeah. Missandei naked, and then it goes to Kaelin on the map and then the wall on the map, like the wall on the map in the intro. It's like, okay, people really didn't care about any, like people, wow, in the episode before, Melisandre, like, that's, people are just...
People are looking for titties, man. That's all they're looking for. Pretty fucking funny. And a little sad. But nevertheless,
a cute scene. You know, I like it.
Not for... still so cute. And that's the thing, is that I value it for just the relationship Grey Worm and Missandei form over the course of the show is just, it's incredibly nice, and the way it ends is incredibly disappointing and sad, but it lasts a while and I enjoy it.
I don't even remember how it ends necessarily.
One of them has to die.
Because I remember Grey Worm's at like King's Landing at the very end there. Like, so I don't even remember how she dies. I'm not. I don't want to remember quite yet. So yeah, I'll just stop.
Tears my fucking heart out.
Oh yeah, I'll keep it out of my head for as long as I can.
Yeah, but nevertheless, still in Meereen, as Sir Barristan Selmy watches the Unsullied taking the bodies of the crucified masters down, a small boy approaches him, giving him a scroll bearing the seal of the Hand. This one was sealed by Tywin Lannister. As we just saw them plotting a couple episodes ago, like how do we deal with this situation? You know, and Jorah's right in his analysis of it. He's like, he's making us fight. If we are fighting, we can't fight them. You know, but there's a bigger thing going on. And he reads it slowly and becomes more concerned as he progresses. And then as a real one does, which Barristan absolutely is, he confronts Ser Jorah first before going straight to Queen Daenerys. And he states that the document is a royal pardon signed by King Robert Baratheon. And Barristan surmises Jorah spied on Daenerys in exchange for the pardon. Jorah begs to be allowed to speak with her privately, but Barristan says, "You will never be alone with her again."
Ooh, that could have been a line right there, just for the delivery of it. Like, I mean, man, this Barristan was a real one here. Like, taking it to him first, being like, I'm letting you know I'm taking it right to her, and you can't do anything about it. Like, just be ready on whatever you want to say. Like, good luck. But, that was, I don't know. I didn't remember that it happened this soon. Like,
I mean, like, it makes sense because there's the arc with Tyrion. Like, Jorah brings Tyrion to King's Land, to Daenerys after capturing him at some point while he's in exile. So then he gets grayscale and has to leave again and all that, you know, like that's
right. Oh man. Yeah. So Jorah's not anywhere near done. That's for, he's still got a lot. Is he? He's not. No. Yeah, no. Because after he gets grayscale, when he leaves, do we ever see him again, or is that like it?
Oh yeah, he comes back. He gets healed by Sam. Sam does the experimental. That's
what I thought. Wasn't he at like because I have a poster of like the wall, like the.
Yeah, he dies in the Battle of Winterfell.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, okay. So no, he's back for that. Okay, I was trying to. I forgot what the connection was to bring him, like how he got north of the wall at one point and then back.
Yeah, because he goes with the crew out there. Yeah, the Suicide Squad in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Jon, Thoros, the Hound,
Tormund. Yeah, the Hound.
I guess
fucking Beric Dondarrion.
Gendry for a little bit, but he just had.
Yeah, he has to run back. Jorah.
And
and Jon.
I thought I remember Jorah in there. Yeah, but Suicide Squad. I like that.
Game of Thrones Suicide Squad, because they were fucked. They were so fucked, and none of them die except for like Thoros, and then a dragon.
Yeah, out of that Suicide Squad, the one guy who died multiple times and has been brought back actually dies for good, and then a dragon.
The guy who brought the guy back actually dies.
Oh, wait. I'm getting Thoros and Beric. Beric mixed it. Beric wasn't there.
Beric is there.
Oh, they're both.
But Thoros
there?
is the one who dies.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
Because the Hound lets him know, like, hey, you better make this better make the rest of your life good because the next time you die, you're not coming back. Your homie's gone.
I got you. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Now
that's a great, and that's why I appreciate season 7 and 8 is because those epic moments, man, they are fucking epic, man. Like that shit is so fucking cool.
Yeah. We're talking about grand moments that happen here, but like the most grand moments, like the Red Wedding, Tyrion's trial, like coming up here, like these do feel grand. Like Joffrey's death feel grand, but like there's a different kind of scale when it involves the Night King and like literal, just hundreds of thousands of like just this imminent threat. Like the stakes are so much higher, so like it's just automatically even more grand. But yeah, I don't know. Seeing Jorah's, life flash before his eyes here was, I don't know. He was feeling good, off last episode, off like, you tell Dario that you changed my mind. He's feeling good. He thinks he's climbing the ranks a little bit, and then, here comes Tywin and King's Landing to fuck you up. And he even called it out. He's like, no, this is like their doing, He's like, it has to be them. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, they want to divide us. Like, but he doesn't actually know. Like, this could have very well been a pardon from Robert, I guess, but it took a long time to get there.
Right.
But I think Jorah's smart enough to piece it together where he's like, nah, this is like came from the little kid, like, and it was so like the mysterious handoff.
He's read this very document. He read it and decided he didn't want it. And then saved Daenerys like immediately. Like it was at that merchant's like he read the document. I don't know what he did with the document or if this is like a replication of the document, but
because I'm pretty sure Tywin forged this because in that small council meeting he asked Varys like, hey, do your little birds reach all the way over in Essos? He's like, oh, of course they do. And then he tells Tyrell,
the pen and the parchment.
Go grab my quill and pen, or whatever. And I think this is probably what they wrote because the seal, because it is sealed. It is still sealed. So like with the hand stamp, whenever the kid hands it to him.
No, for sure.
So
he replicated it at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Tywin's so smart. Damn, that's
good.
That's like
very good.
That's pretty good. It worked like
it did. It absolutely did, and we reach. Once again, the audience chamber where Daenerys is seething and demands an explanation. And this is my favorite scene. It's my favorite scene with my favorite performance from Ian Glenn as Jorah Mormont, getting his first little nod for me. Because he plays this incredibly subtle. Like, it's not like there are a lot of performances in this show that are just blatantly like, oh, of course that's the performance of the episode. I don't think this is one of those. I think it's just the way he handles this. It took a seasoned actor who is very good at what they do to pull this off convincingly. Like the sorrow and the genuine regret that you can feel emanating off of him as he explains that, in the floundering being like, it's a plot to divide us, So she's like, so do you deny it? Is this a forgery? And he's like, no, it's not. I was giving information to Varys on your activities in Essos. And she asks, did you tell him of my pregnancy by Khal Drogo? And he protests, saying that he stopped that from happening, but she retaliates only because you knew it was coming. And he's like, I suspected. He's like, I didn't know that, but I had to be on the lookout.
That's rough though. Like, cause if they don't know that she's pregnant with, like an heir coming, like maybe they don't send, like I guess her rationale is kind of
100%. And there's also the fact that he was sending secrets to the man who killed her family.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was the part that she got really. And Daenerys, I mean, Emilia Clarke here, not even being able to look at him too, like looking at him at the start, but then like as the closer and closer she got to goodbye, like she was just like looking above him. It seemed, like just couldn't even look down at him. Yeah, just like looking up at the ceiling, like just and like almost crying, but like she couldn't show weakness until like he turned around.
I've served you, I've advised you, and then he like pauses and he goes, "I've loved you." He's like, dude, it's a good fucking scene, man.
That scene was really good.
And it was Ian Glenn's performance that just kind of sealed it for me. I adored him in this scene. I like Jorah Mormont a lot, and I haven't been able to give him the performance nod yet, but I felt comfortable throwing it his way.
Yeah, because I don't think any one actor really stood out this episode. I think it's just everyone's doing very, very well, and they're playing
one I could absolutely understand is the flight of emotions Peter Dinklage goes on during the trial. When like at the end when you just see him like kind of just like, oh my fucking god. Like it was right there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about that here in a second. But yeah, she warns that if he is ever seen in the city or in Slaver's Bay or in Essos, she's gonna kill him, you know. And we see Jorah riding away from Meereen on a horse, and thus concludes one of the show's longest running relationships.
Isn't that actually like whenever they do come back? So he brings Tyrion to her. And then isn't like the first thing Daenerys says like, "Tell me why I shouldn't kill you right here, right now," or something like that? Like, isn't it like right away? Like, man, I forgot about that. Yeah, oh man, that's
Jorah goes on an incredible arc where he goes to like he gets sold into slavery with Tyrion, and they fight in the fighting pits, and they work their way up to fight in front of Daenerys.
Oh man, yeah, Man, I can't believe they don't have him on here. That would have been so cool to see, like on the map that like tracks people on where they went.
Oh, Jorah.
Jorah's would have been fucking sick, but I don't think he's not a character that's on here. Sadly, to pick from, it doesn't look like. Because I guess, because he's with Daenerys pretty much the whole time until now, and then so where does he go until he meets Tyrion? Like right now, he's just kind of going. Like,
I think the next time we see him, and this is a little icky, he's in a brothel where he is deeply admiring a mother of dragons impersonating prostitute.
He's down bad. Okay.
Yeah. No, and he's not doing anything with her, but she's across the room, and I think it could be passably like it's just reminding him of her. But there's a reason you picked this brothel, you know? There's a reason you're here, buddy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's the next time we see him, but I know we do see him there at some point. But next we're in the Vale of the Arryn, wherein Peter Baelish is testifying before a tribunal consisting of Lord Jon Royce, Lady Anya Waynwood, and Sir Vance Corbray. The lords are suspicious of Lysa Arryn's death, which they're all very confident he must have killed her. They're like, you got married a couple weeks ago. You had no power or lands that was substantial prior to that. Now you do. And Baelish has decided to spin the death as a suicide, but the lords don't believe him. Given her devotion to her son, she might have been a little nutty, as they say in so many words, but she did love her son so dearly. And they rebuff Littlefinger's explanations in favor of speaking with the only witness, his niece, Align. And after confirming that Baelish can stay for her testimony, Sansa reveals her true identity and relates the tale of her captivity and escape from King's Landing. She continues, truthfully telling of Lysa's mental instability, jealousy, and death, changing only a few details, which is a really cool callback to what Tyrion says earlier in the episode, but we haven't seen it yet, where this is an example of something she learned from Cersei. Tyrion says something about how she uses real things to spin fake lies. Yeah, and it's literally what Sansa does here. She tells so much truth and is lying all the while doing it.
Okay. Wow. I mean, I was going. I either had Alfie Allen or Sophie Turner as my performance, and I think I was leaning more towards Sophie Turner. for this one. Like
she's fucking good, man.
Yeah, like the emotional range here, and then like that stare that she gives.
Yeah,
Peter, like at the end there,
you
like,
owe me sort of shit.
Yeah, I fucking did that. You're welcome. Like I don't know, I love Sophie Turner in this episode, and you're right. Like like I didn't think about the little thing of she learned this in King's Landing. Like you learn how to lie in King's Landing.
Yeah, like she's always been told like you're a bad like Littlefinger's told her you're a bad liar. Like you shouldn't do it, and
she's
here she is.
Hold my
convincingly lying.
Yeah, she's like, let me actually save you and convince this council at the Vale right now.
Yeah.
No,
if this wasn't Oberyn Martell's last episode, and I was gonna honorarily give him it, regardless, it would have been Sansa for me. She would have been my character had it not been for Oberyn's last episode. So a little honorary nod to Sansa Stark here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, and then that. Like her walking out in that new dress, like all like,
dude, that fucking shot is gorgeous.
Yeah, like blurred, like you can't see her for like a lot of it. Like you see like the sun like kind of overexposed it, and then she gets in focus, and you're just like, oh damn, yeah.
I actually, when I was looking through fan caps, I was like, that wasn't what I was going to use for the episode graphic. But I was like, that shot's just too pretty. I gotta save it anyway. So I did. Just the way like the steps and the railing like lead up to her. Just incredible framing. Like it's a very, very good looking shot. But nevertheless, yeah, she convinces them otherwise. Says Littlefinger only kissed her on the cheek. And Lysa threw herself through the moon door. She was like, that's enough. That's it.
She kind of inputs like, yeah, I don't have any better friend than he is my uncle, and the kiss was only on the cheek. She's like,
we will not be kissing again.
That's where we stand, Littlefinger. Yeah, I love how she like while lying and saving his ass, she was also like telling him like, hey, all right, you did what you had to do. Sure, now that's it. But I think I don't know. It's kind of like that walkout at the end, like with the dress. I think like she's kind of like accepting of their friendship though. Like I think she's not actually like she doesn't like hold it that much against him. Like I actually thought that she'd be like more. I guess I don't know because she does like Littlefinger does come up to her afterwards.
This is when she starts playing shit close to the vest. This is when she starts being the Sansa she becomes. She's kind of like because the logic she uses. She's when he goes, "Why?"
Yeah.
Like, well, because I know you, I don't know them. And clearly she knows that she has some sort of hold on him because of her mom. So she's like, I'm going to go ahead and keep doing this thing because I think I can get away with shit. And I think regardless of how you treat me and how you talk to me, you do care about me in some capacity. You won't knowingly hurt me. So
and he did kill the king and Lysa Arryn, and he's getting away with all of these crazy things without anyone knowing of so she's probably like, oh, if I do go with these people, then yeah, it's better to not, trust but not trust Littlefinger right now, like just to get on his good side. But no, she's like this. She comes at like she looked like a child, like still, like even in like when she was confessing, like telling that lie. And kind of even in the bedroom, whenever Littlefinger came up to her, but when she walks out like with that new dress, it's like, whoa, like like totally different person, like
feathered black dress, plunging neckline. Again, and her hair's darker. She's dyed her hair. She's in her Cersei Lannister era. She's like I think she is trying to emulate to the best of her ability Cersei. Because she knows she's intimidating. She knows she's strong. She knows she's not as big. She knows she's not a monster the way Cersei is, but she can understand what about Cersei makes her powerful, Okay. And I think that's something that Sansa, like the way she takes things from terrible people and uses them for good ends up making her one of the coolest characters in the entire show. And she hasn't gotten a character nod out of either of us yet. But I think that's going to change going forward. I think
this would be the episode. Like, if Oberyn, come on. Like that's
got to say goodbye to our man's the only way we know how.
Yeah, kind of tough. But man, she has become Sansa Stark we know, like from the end of the show.
At least begun that journey, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like she's on her way. But at some point before or after this event, there's no real telling. The Hound and Arya arrive at the Bloody Gate of the Eyrie. Who are you and why do you come to the Bloody Gate? It's the Bloody Hound.
Bloody Hound, yeah. He's like, I love how you're like, man, he's such a delight every time.
I fucking love
everything
the Hound, dude.
Is so good.
Him being like, I'm with Arya Stark, the niece of your Lady Arryn. And he's like, oh, I love the way the guy like kind of is like, oh, well, sucks that I have to break this news. But
shit.
He goes, oh, my condolences. This is my favorite line. My condolences. Your aunt died 3 days ago. And then Arya just uncontrollably laughs because of course that would happen, you know?
Yeah, it was
just kind of like an exasperation, you know? It's like, I think she would have liked to be with family and to kind of settle.
Mm-hmm.
But this is also like oh my God, this fucking guy, he can't get rid of me. You know, like he wants so badly to be on his own and to get money and to do something and he can't get away from me. This is so fucking funny.
Yeah, in my mind, after this, I was thinking like, okay, they're so close, you know, Sansa and Arya, just kind of like Jon and Bran were, like a couple episodes ago at Craster's Keep.
Yeah.
And Jojen's like, no, you can't. Like if you see him, he'll want to protect you. You won't go on. You won't become the Three-Eyed Raven. So like I kind of mirrored it to this, to Sansa and Arya would not go on to kill the Night King.
Yeah.
If like maybe she still goes on and does all of her stuff, but who knows?
Well,
maybe
it's the other thing is that I said, you know, I'm sure she'd like to be in a comfortable place. I think she would at this point, after what happened last episode, prefer to stay with the Hound. I honestly think she's kind of warming up to the idea of just being a nomadic person who kills people if they cross her. You know, like I don't think she wants to be comfortable up in the castle.
Yeah,
she's like,
she has her list and she actively is saying it every night before she goes to bed. A castle's not going to help cross any names off that list. Yeah. So yeah, you're probably right. She would want to maybe just stick with the Hound, do what they're doing. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, not even really that big of a decision, like not like a crossroad. Like I guess either way it goes, if Sansa does see Arya.
It's not even up to Arya necessarily. You know, like it's up to the Hound. Like the Hound is selling her. You know, if she's alive, this is where Arya is going to be. You know, like that's it's fascinating. But the
Bloody Hound, I don't know. I love the humor that the show has. It's like not a whole lot of it, but man, like every now and then
it's there, man. It's there. I love this shit. And the Hound is often the one who's doing the funny shit. But nevertheless, we move to King's Landing, our final location of the episode. And in the last hours before his trial by combat, Tyrion and Jaime share a final drink in Tyrion's cell and reminisce about Orson Lannister.
This is my scene, actually. And if Marine is, now that we talked it through, like, Marine was pretty good. And like that whole, everything that happened there, I don't know. I think it was just, this is more towards the end of the episode. And I was thinking I was going to choose just the fight between the Viper and the Mountain. But honestly, like, I don't know. It was, I don't want to say goodbye to him I don't know. There's some stuff I have like with that. But this scene, there's a lot of layers for this Beetle story here that like I'd never picked up on. Like on first watch, I probably like, what, like he's just rambling on, you know, he's like about to die. He's just telling this random story about a family story. But like, I don't know. I think it gives like a perfect insight to who Tyrion is, like, and how he grew up and how sad his childhood was. That like, this is what he did. He studied this, you know, his cousin that just smashed beetles, and for what? You know, just to figure him out. He went to the library to try to find out if there was anything he could figure out. No. I had to go back to the source to study who it is. And it's like, it just shows the kind of character Tyrion is. And then also, kind of at the same time, like a Michael Caine, like, some people just want to watch the world burn. Like, I feel like that's like kind of the theme of the story. Like, there is no reason for him smashing these beetles. It's just maybe he wants to hold power over something. He doesn't have power in his life, so he just kills beetles to feel powerful. I don't know. But there's doesn't seem to be any theme that comes from that story at all. So I'm like, well, what's the point of telling it then? And I feel like it's just to give you an insight into Tyrion and who he is, how he grew up, and then also he's thinking he's about to die, so he's just trying to reminisce in any memory he can.
Well, I also took it, something that it connected to for me was Asteroid City very recently. Whenever we get to the scene at the end, whenever Augie, the lead, goes, why does Augie burn his hand on the quickie griddle? I still don't get the play. In this moment, this massive moment, this crossroads for the character where everything's culminating and everything's important that's happening at this moment, he can't take his mind off of this one thing, which is, it's literally just asking why. Why does any of this matter? Why am I alive? Why do things have to be the way they are? Is basically what Tyrion's contemplating, I think. And It resulted in him thinking about this gentleman, Orson Lannister.
And with a kunk. Yeah, I like how he threw it in there every now and then, he kunk to start, and then he's like, yeah, and then he knocked me over with a nice kunk. Or what, he was, I don't know, but I don't know, the reason I chose it for my scene is just there's not many moments with Tyrion and Jaime, but this was just their last, Jaime's like, yeah, this is the last time I'm going to see my brother and have a moment with him. Tyrion's thinking the same. And then the bells start ringing, and you're like, fuck. And Jaime's just like, hey, good luck today, man. I don't know. I love I don't know. I didn't want to, I guess Peter Dinklage might have got the performance for that scene as well. And that, I don't know, he was really going on for quite a while there, just telling that story. And I just really loved that scene.
It was a goodie. And there was something about this episode that I really, really enjoyed from the direction and the cinematography, because the cinematographer for this is someone who's very, very established in TV. I remember looking at it and being like, wow, they've done some shit. They worked on Spider-Man 2. They were an additional director of photography on it. I can't remember her name. Let me see it real quick. Annette Helmick. She was the director of photography on this one, and I saw something that was different about this one compared to others was the close-ups, the intimate close-ups of characters. And Tyrion and Jaime got a lot of them here. Jorah and Daenerys got a lot of them in their discussion. And the way they frame Peter during his little trial, where it's above him, looking down, and he's just kind of sitting there. They do a lot with the full frame, just a person's face, and it just kind of emphasized a lot of what the moments were about, were these characters and their thought processes and trying to get inside their heads. Whether that's it's literally through camera work you're trying to do that, and I think that was very, very effective. And there were a few shots of Tyrion and Jaime here that were gorgeous for that reason. But I love that Jaime's just not getting the point of the story, not one fucking bit. He's like, I don't fucking know, man. And then the bell rings and it's time.
Yeah, we're here.
Yep.
At least Pedro gives quite the performance before it's over. He gives him a show and stuff before it's all over, but man, yeah, it's just getting closer and closer to it. I'm like, God, why did you have to just egg him on? Everyone, right. You had him right there. And he even says it too. He's like, "Oh no, you're dying? No, not yet." And I'm like, "No, no, just hold on, just hold on a little longer." But yeah, no, this and the set for this is
gorgeous.
I wonder if this is a real place, or if they just built this.
Yeah, some of that, it felt like some of it had to be computer generated. It felt like to me, the scale of it, the higher up it went whenever they show certain angles like that. But regardless, Lannister guardsmen escort Tyrion into the arena where a large crowd has assembled. They're ready to watch the imp die. and he grows apprehensive to find a helmless Oberyn drinking, wearing very light armor, and in comparison to Sir Gregor Clegane, who is clad head to foot in heavy armor and wielding a very large sword. Oberyn's like, don't you fucking worry, man. I always drink before a fight, and I favor speed over protection. I should be fine. And as Gregor and his squire make their way to the arena, Ilaria becomes concerned, noting that the mountain is the biggest man she's ever seen in her life.
Like, that's what you're fighting?
Yeah.
I'm going to kill that, or whatever he's He's like, he's so confident. Like,
that is what I am going to kill.
Yeah, like, god damn. Man.
And Oberyn's like, yeah, I'm going to be fine. And the last little goodbye between Ilaria and Oberyn here, where she's like, don't leave me alone in this world. And he goes, never. God, I wish. And nevertheless, Grand Maester Pycelle steps into the arena and begins making a long-winded speech, asking the gods to favor the innocent before Tywin Lannister goes, that's enough, fucko, get off the stage.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Blare the horns or trumpets, whatever have to play. Get it going.
The ability of this show. I think this is my fifth time, or fourth or fifth time, probably fifth, watching the Mountain versus the Viper.
Mm-hmm.
And never before in this show, not with Ned Stark's death, not with the Red Wedding, nothing like that. You know, and with the Red Wedding, I'm kind of feeling this way, but I'm literally watching this going, what if this time it goes a different way? You know, like what if this time Oberyn just wins the fucking fight? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm wishing so hard for it to go a different way than the way it goes, you know, because he has him fucking beat, dude. And oh my God, it is so fucking done. You know, like it is over.
Yeah, that's the difference. The Red Wedding, it's like it was a complete surprise attack, and it's like you can't really like wish for it to go a different way. You just wish it didn't happen in the first place. But this, we get all the way to the end, and it did happen, and we were that close, and then they took it away. Like that's what makes it just even worse. And it's Pedro Pascal, and you know it's like just a really cool guy, like on screen that you don't want to go away. It's like there's so many layers to it. It makes it so devastating to watch every time. Like,
yep, but Oberyn, you know, he gets a little out-muscled at certain points, but he's ultimately very graceful. I thought the editing of this fight was kind of garbage.
Like they replayed certain things. Like it was like a very, I don't know. It was like the editing was very fast and kind of used the same.
What was bizarre is that Tim Porter was the editor for this one. And I'm interested because again, this is the first time I'm watching it in a couple years now, and I'm much more critical of film and thinking about things like this. The gentleman who edited this edited Hardhome and the Battle of the Bastards and The Long Night and The Bells and every major battle in this show. This gentleman is the one who edited it. So I'm interested to see if we get there and I'm kind of like, damn, like the editing's not as good as I remember, but like, and that's not, this editing wasn't terrible. There were just moments where I was like, that's a bit much. I don't think we need to be doing that. We were popping all over the place. We were cutting everyone's perspective in a matter of milliseconds. And I was like, I just thought it was a little bit.
Those episodes are, I mean,
I feel like he refined his craft.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get there and be like, oh no, the editing actually isn't that good. No, I think this is just such a smaller scale battle. Like the Battle of the Bastards, huge. Hardhome, huge. Like that's just a lot.
This is the same guy who edited the last episode, which I thought was excellently edited. You know, like it's there's obviously there's a lot that goes into this, but he also edited Beyond the Wall when they go and they fight the White Walkers with the Suicide Squad. You know, like he does, like, this is just a standout. I think they were trying to emphasize like the speed of Oberyn, so they kept like cutting to show like, whoa, he's so fast.
Yeah,
but I can tell he's fast. Look at the shit he's doing, bruh. You know, like just let the performers perform sometimes for me.
Is that actually Pedro? It's got to be a stunt guy, right? Like, or is Pedro like that?
Almost certainly a stunt guy. I gotta guess, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did a lot of work with the spear, because I got to think that'd be why they brought it back for like the Mandalorian, kind of putting the spear in Pedro Pascal's hand and being like,
maybe he is nice with the spear.
Maybe he's got a little something like that with him. But then, like behind the scenes, you find that in the Mandalorian, it was mostly Lateef Crowder whoever did anything with the spear. So it's like, regardless, that might have just been a little like thing for people who were fans of both things. Like, Pedro Pascal's got a spear in his hand again. Yes,
Yeah.
But regardless, as the fight progresses, Oberyn manages to seriously injure Gregor, stabbing him first in the chest, severing his Achilles, and then burying his spear in Gregor's stomach, pinning him to the floor. And as I love looking at, one thing about the editing I liked was looking at everyone's face. Like whenever Jaime, like he kind of was like, "Oh shit, hell yeah!" And
Jaime, Jaime, Tyrion, and what's
Cersei,
and
Ilaria and Tywin. Kind of cut all over the place.
You get Varys in there, I think, one time. But yeah, not many people are on Tyrion's side. That's only
Ilaria, Jaime, and Jaime's not hiding it. Jaime wants Tyrion. He wants Oberyn to win this battle. He is very, very open about it, And as Jaime and Tyrion exchange a grin across the arena, a furious Oberyn circles Gregor on the ground, demanding, No, you can't die yet. You must confess. You murdered my sister. You raped her. You killed her children. Tell me, who gave you the order? And he points to Tywin, screaming, Who gave you the order? Pedro Pascal might. I mean, he did fucking good in this one, dog. This is a fucking performance right here.
I mean, yeah, he did. I mean, it was. I don't know. He kind of won. Like, actually, I know he died at the end.
No, yeah, he won. He won the fight. He just got
everyone. Well, everyone will walk away, like, because the mountain. Does the mountain die and then they bring him back as zombie mountain, or is that later on?
Yeah, he's dead
right now. Yeah, so he actually died.
And it's not because of his injuries. It's because his spear is laced with some sort of poison. So.
That's right.
So even if he just cuts him, the mountain will die no matter what.
So maybe that was his plan all along. Maybe he actually didn't know. I guess that was just another failsafe. Yeah, he's just like, well,
it was like, no matter what, the mountain will die. I just need to get this. I just want to hear this. It was a little satisfaction thing. I don't think he planned on dying by any means.
Yeah.
But it was a nice little failsafe. Like the mountain will die no matter what.
Yeah, I guess he did say the mountain is is step one. Like to Tyrion, like that's step one of my plan. So yeah, I obviously know.
It sucks. I really wish Oberyn and Martell could have lived throughout this show. It'd have been very, very nice. It'd have been so nice. It'd have been great.
Why do you have to go the way he did, man? It's like God, like it'd be different if like you could see his, like, I don't know, like if he got stabbed or something and we saw his face slowly lose life. But you just have to see it like get crushed like a watermelon and blow up everywhere, and it's just
Oberyn.
Teeth get knocked out first.
Yeah, stands a little too close, gets his shit rocked, and berserk with fury, Gregor grabs Oberyn by the throat and lifts him off the ground, smashing out most of his teeth with a single punch. Climbing on top of Oberyn, Gregor finally admits. He raped Elia. He killed her children. And then he did this. And he smashes his head between his hands as Ilaria screams in horror and a stunned silence sweeps the crowd. There's a short, the joyful moment previously for Tyrion quickly becomes shock and dismay. And Tywin stands and proclaims, "It is the will of the gods. Tyrion is guilty and is therefore sentenced to death." Tyrion can't reply, staring in catatonic astonishment at Oberyn's skull-crushed corpse, as does Jaime. And the only different reaction is from Cersei, who stares at Oberyn's slaughtered body, listening to Tyrion's death sentence, with a smile upon her face.
Man, yeah, a line I didn't even talk about was Tyrion in his cell with Jaime, and he was like, trial by combat, the hand up to the gods to decide. He's like, that says something about the gods.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that this is, I don't know. It's not even like the gods anyways. It's just a human thing that they decide to do trial by combat. Like, it's just only them being like, yeah, it's in the eyes of the god. I guess it's, I don't know. Maybe, I guess, as in the gods' hands as you can get from an actual trial. But yeah, no, this was just rough on, because you got Oberyn dying, which is already hard. And then you have, like, Tyrion's death. Like, on first watch, you're like,
this is it. Tyrion is fucked,
Like, oh my god, they could have killed him right then and there. Like, even, it could have actually happened. Like, luckily it cuts to black, so that you have to wait another episode probably for it to happen. And
right,
just, but yeah, you're right. Like, having Ned die like that, like, they really build him up
for episode 8, leading you into episode 9, which from previous episodes that in episode 9 of season 1, that's when Ned died. Episode 9 of season 3, that's when Robb died. Episode 9 of season 4, we must be saying goodbye to Tyrion. They are leading you that way incredibly on purpose.
Like, fuck all of you. We'll spend the whole episode at the wall. Next episode, actually.
Yep.
So
build the suspense even further. We just lose Ygritte in season 4, episode 9 instead. Which, God damn, Oberyn and Ygritte in back-to-back episodes hurts my heart, man. It's a bad combo back-to-back there. I love those characters.
Man, that's Lysa. I was okay with, I'm okay with,
shit. I forgot Lysa Arryn dies too in the episode before this. So the run here: Lysa Arryn, Oberyn Martell, Ygritte, Tywin. The last 4 episodes of the series, supporting major characters, all die. And then you had Joffrey, who died at the beginning of the fucking season. You know what I'm saying? Like,
damn.
The death toll in this one is fucking crazy.
People are popping like flies, dropping like flies. The only reason I said popping is, I guess, probably Oberyn's head.
Yeah, Oberyn's head. Yeah, there's a little bit of trivia where Pedro Pascal says that this was the best day on set for him. The filming of his head being squashed, because they never zoom in real close. They obviously keep that very, very high up, so it's not too gory and stuff. But upon learning this information, you can tell it's just a bunch of like fake flesh piled on top of his real head.
Really?
Like he's actually laying there, and it's just a bunch of fake stuff put on top of his head. And then blood seeping through, and he said it was a really hot day and the fake blood was like really cold, and he just got to lay there for a while, and he was like, I even took a little nap.
Literally like Joffrey. Like, I remember, like, his last episode was his favorite to shoot because he just got to take a nap. As
exactly
dead there, and Pedro's like, yeah, it was hot. I actually liked laying down there. Oh yeah, it's definitely just fake stuff piled on. I'm looking at it now. Yeah.
Which is like, of course it is. It's not like they, crushed Pedro Pascal's skull, but like, you'd think like maybe it's a fake body and they just kind of threw it out there. No, it's just a bunch of stuff piled on top of his actual face.
Having them both just lay there too is, God, like, just
the Mountain and the Viper. What a fucking episode, man. And it was a goodie. And with another couple Oberyn character nods, it makes him the king of the show so far as character nods are concerned. He has the most out of anybody, and he only appeared in 7 episodes.
That's right. That's how you do it. That's the gold standard of coming into the show. And
there will not be another character who does that. Pedro Pascal is fucking insane for that. For being one of the most likable characters in this entire show and only being in 7 episodes is insane. And not even spread out. 7 episodes practically in a row. 1 in the middle that he wasn't in.
Yep.
Like, it's not like he just periodically shows up and is like, whoa, and I'm like, oh yeah, I love that guy. Forgot about that guy. No, he is like a main character for a full fucking season, and it hurts when he goes.
Well, like, you're right though. Every time I watch it, I'm hoping it just goes a different way.
I even thought to myself, like, I laughed out loud when I recognized the way I was thinking. I was like, oh my God, I know how this fucking ends. It's not going to fucking change. Like I was sitting there like, come on, man, pull through, like just finish the job, pull that dagger up and thrust it into his fucking skull. I don't know, do something. And I know that's not what's going to happen, but I can't help but hope that's what happens. And I think that's just what an incredible season of television season 4 has been, man. For it to get me to think that way it's special. It's a special season of television. And this episode was fucking great. But that leaves us with a rating. Am I correct?
We are there. And this, I feel like, is probably like either on the same level or higher than last episode.
I would say higher. I'd say we're looking more at the actual trial as a better comparison to this one.
I'd say either 9.5 or 9.75 possibly, but I think
right
5 is more where I'm sitting here. Let's see. Sansa, like, well, now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of stacked. Marine was done very well.
Marine was incredible.
Sansa and like at the Vale was awesome the whole time. What else? And then there was
Mole's Town.
Yeah. Okay. I think I don't think I can put it above the trial episode.
No, I think 9.5 is probably it. And I think it's probably a 9.5 across the board.
Yeah, just a little bit better. Like,
no, I'm gonna go 9.25. I think it's about the same as last episode because I don't think it's quite as visually fulfilling as the previous episode. I think it is visually incredibly well done, but I think that there's something about the cinematography from the previous episode in the previous 2 episodes that really just like Fabian Wagner is very, very good at what he does behind the camera. I think the direction was really good, but I thought the editing was off at points, so like there's a give and take here where the performances are all in all incredible. The writing was very, very solid. But I think it is carried by performances. I think that's the strong suit of this episode. So I think a 9.25 is fair.
And that would round it out to a 9.33, which does put it just barely above last episode. And I think third now for the season.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, third. And then last episode would become fourth now. Yeah, I think
season 4 is so fucking good, man.
We have 5 episodes that are above a 9, and then one that's basically a 9, an 8-9. This is a quite the strong season. One moment with Jaime that was a little
out there.
But other than that, this season has just been...
It's been strong. It's been very strong, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think with that, we'll conclude this episode of Winter is Blooming. We're heading into our 4th penultimate episode. We got season 4, episode 9 next week on the Game of Thrones Rewatch podcast, so come on back for that. Remember to head to patreon.com/PennyBloomPod where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content, including a $1.50 tier with nothing but written reviews. I'm getting back into writing quite a bit, and I'm very happy with the work I'm doing. You bet your ass I'm going to charge you for it. $1.50 a month, not very much, and you get the nice knowledge of knowing that you're supporting this podcast financially, which is huge because it costs me money and I don't make any off of it. We also have that $3 tier where you actually get the exclusive audio content and any fictional writings we might do. I did write a short story and I released it on July 1st, and it's over there on that $3 tier for you. So you should go check that out. Head to Twitter, follow at PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. Remember to leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you might be listening, and to download and share our episodes. That would mean the world. Let's see. We've got the comic book movie Journey Through Film going on Fridays right now. This Friday brings us V for Vendetta. and I'm very excited for that. But more pressingly, on Wednesday, we wrap up our director's spotlight for Christopher Nolan with Oppenheimer, recently released in theaters. We're actually seeing it. We actually saw it today. We're seeing it today as of release date of this episode. And I'm very, very excited for y'all to hear that. Greta Gerwig next week. Doing
the Girl Week begins.
The Girl Week begins next week with Lady Bird, Little Women, and Barbie. And I'm quite excited. So we got a lot in store for you. Come back next week for season 4, episode 9, The Watchers on the Wall, and then the week after that for the season 4 finale, The Children. But with that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And confess.